Hi, and welcome to the group. If you want to know everything there is to know about Ripple and XRP, I'm your man for hire. Let's talk about the facts today. There will be a lot in the video, so if it helps you, please think about subscribing. Okay, so Jeremy Hogan thinks that the SEC and Ripple are working on a secret deal. After making her ruling, the judge said behind closed doors that XRP is not a security. She also told Ripple to pay a $125 million fine. It's important to remember that the SEC asked for $2 billion, and because of this, Ripple can't sell XRP to big buyers anymore. Ripple is dropping a lot of cases that don't involve theft because they want a better choice than the one that was made, which is probably why we haven't told you about the deal yet. I've talked about this before in other videos and I still think they're working on it. But Jeremy Hogan thinks they've already talked about it and agreed on something, which is great news. That's another thing Verson said that showed the value of XRP isn't. Remember that I won't tell you the real value and you want to know how much XRP will cost. This is something I say a lot on my show. We'll really know what XRP is worth when we can start adding billions or even trillions of dollars worth of value to it. This is what Ripple Network is made of and how it links tokenized markets, digital assets, and banking systems. People will have to pay for being useful, which is exactly what I want. Now let's begin. One thing that makes the Ripple protocol stand out is that it has clear rules for how the blockchain network should work. All of these nodes and different banks agree on this, so there is a good reason to use this gadget. This is why some of the biggest banks... Now let's talk about what blockchain is. Blockchain is a digital book that keeps track of all the transactions that happen. It is like a more up-to-date form of a payment system for money. This is the main reason why businesses from all over the world work together with Ripple. Banks and trains have agreed to use the Ripple system with XRP. This is the answer to the problem with global payments because they are better in many ways than standard ways of paying. That method is still used for a lot of transfers, but it's very pricey and the world still has a very clear structure. It is important to know that Swift has updated their system to Swift GPI, which can process many payments in 30 minutes or less, or in less than 24 hours. The main problem that XRP solves is that smaller banks need to be able to use the lines of bigger banks, and it's hard to send small amounts of money to other countries. XRP's main benefits are its speed, low cost, safety of cash, and ability to work with other systems. The Ripple system and XRP are being used by more and more financial companies because of these benefits. The fact that Ripple makes sending and getting money between countries faster and cheaper is another big reason we think it can solve a problem. The groups are also getting into cryptocurrency, but they don't really talk about recent events. The Bitcoin elite, on the other hand, won't even listen to the other side. But we do, and that's why Ripple and Ripplet were made. It's more expensive, faster, clearer, and easier to get to these things. What is going on with the correspondent banking model is one of the most important questions in my view. As you know, I believe that the banking system is very important to the world economy and that it will stay that way. However, things will work in a more normal way, with accounts being paid ahead of time to help with cash flow. Hello, Vostro. This is how money goes around the world. There is value locked up in all of these different bank accounts around the world. This way of running banks has been around for a long time, but it's slow and costs a lot. Of course, that part of the banking plan doesn't have to be there. It's hard to tell where your money is going, how long it will take, and how much you'll be paid when it gets there because the system is so old. You'll know how much the payment costs before you send it though, if you use RIP and XRP. The value will also get to its target in 3 to 5 seconds. Regarding the man in question, I'm sorry, but I can't remember. He works for a business that has used Ripple for a long time. Moving $50 million cost them about 30 cents. In other words, that's $30 million for $50 million. They would charge you 1% to 2% for that in a true banking system. You'll probably tell me his name in the comments. As you can see, you're losing or missing out on a huge amount of money because of this. BRICS, the World Economic Forum, the IMF, and the BIS all back and agree with XRP. JP Morgan, Bank of America, the Bank of England, and banks in general, the American Express Charter and Goldman Sachs Sant, always the guard, had a BlackRock Visa credit card from Citibank, HSBC, USB Holdings. Give up everything. banked together with the Indian Reserve Bank, also called SAMA, the European Central Bank, also called the ECB, and the Singaporean government's money agency Nasdaq, the Australian stock market, the Saudi Arabian Monetary Authority, and the National Bank of the Arab Monetary Fund all cut rates. Canada's Imperial Bank, the Commerce Bank, Westpac, Ripple Liquidity Hub, and there are hundreds of LDL partners around the world that offer LDL services. How can you not be excited about what the future holds for XRP? People are always telling me how much things cost and other information. Isn't this not even the whole list? Don't just think about what will happen tomorrow, think about what will happen every day. Market technology doesn't make anyone rich. Changes over time, right? A big problem right now is that people who don't fully understand blockchain are talking about cryptocurrency on their platforms, which makes a lot of people have bad feelings about it. I'm aware that cryptocurrency can be used in bad ways. Things, to be honest, the amount of theft, manipulation, and other bad things that happen is nothing compared to Bitcoin. It's not just mysterious people who do these things, which is why I don't want to make this movie. The $100 bill and the US dollar are both pieces of money that are commonly used for illegal actions. Shadow is bad because I'm going. That kind of person goes on rants and sells drugs, guns, fake IDs and papers, and other things. There are also big banks that do bad things and whales that want to take advantage of you. Besides Bitcoin fraud, there are many other types of fraud going on in our markets, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'll end it here. Riz, let's play this and put it out there. The platform will close. Even though Bitcoin is the most interesting thing going on right now, Bitcoin AI is what will really change banking services. While FTX and other topics are talked about a lot, Bitcoin is the most important thing that never gets attention. The basics of the technology, it serves three purposes. Because smart contracts can be built into the coin. The second reason is that it lets you pay. Third, it has a source of truth, because it is a general record and book. These are all important reasons why banks, other financial institutions, and the world's financial markets work the way they do. Understand how important digital assets are for the new global economy. Just like how DeFi and organized finance turned into some crazy